Peacock with Wilderness Innovation here today. Ben and I are up here and want to show you a little bit about the PSS, our personal survival shelter. But now, let's say you have more than one person in your group. Say you have, 2 people, 3, 4, whatever. Well, if you have a PSS with you, like Ben has this multicam one on, all the snap patterns and everything all match up. All the tabbing, everything all matches up regardless of what you've got. But we can actually link these two together and say we need to get out of the wind, or like block the wind or rain or snow or something like that. We can actually get to camp, set up camp, and Ben and I can link our two PSS together and we can make one larger shelter out of it. So we're going to show you a little of that right now. Alright, so we both got our ponchos on, so basically all we do to link them together is we just unsnap them. Take my hat off here, I guess. Alright, so basically we've got them unsnapped. Now both of these PSS that we have here, both these ponchos are they're all 5 feet wide, but these are both the long versions, so these guys are both 8 feet long. So if we snap these together, then we're going to be, Ben's the mathematician, so we're going to be what size now?
10 by 8.
10 by 8. So that'd be like having a 10 by 8 tarp. Now, granted, this isn't as good as having a solid, one-piece tarp, but, we've been out and used them before. It makes a huge difference, so it's a lot better than having nothing, let me tell you what. Alright, so now we're going to show you how we put these guys together. Alright, so what Ben and I have done is we've taken our ponchos off and we've snapped them together with the snaps that are already in the ponchos. Now, as we pointed out, these are the long version ponchos. They're 8 feet long. So they're a foot longer in the back than the front. And we'll show you why that matters in a minute. On the regular size, everything's even both ways. But, so what we've done is we've snapped them down, and as you can see, now this Coyote one is actually inside out. So the inside is facing up. And on the multicam, that one is the outside is facing up as normal. And that's how you make everything match up. Now you'll see the hood on this one is up from the hood on this one. They're kind of staggered. That's again because this is the long version that's a foot longer in the back, so the hood's kind of staggered. And you can even merge up, you can link up a long with a regular, no problem. One of them will just be a little longer on one end than the other, so it's not a problem either way. If you look, the front of this poncho is this side right here, because there's the opening facing that way. When you look at this one, the opening is facing this way, so basically the front's here on this one, it's there on that one, and then this one's flipped inside out, or upside down. Okay, now we'll string it up for you, and we'll kind of show you how everything lays out. Alright, so now we've got them snapped together. We've got everything strung out here, and this we'll show you this, you'll understand it more in detail, but the Coyote one on the ridge line is going to be the one underneath the multicam. So we string it through the loops of that one, and then I'll show you when we flip everything over, it'll give us kind of an overlap ridge which keeps the weather out on top. So we'll show you that now. Okay, so now we're going to flip this thing right side up here. So now we've got I've got the multicam here, and you can see, we'll show you another shot here from the other side, how the multicam actually flips over the top of the ridge line. Come on, Perry. Find it. We're running out of daylight, dude. Alright, so now we've got everything flipped out the way we're going to have it here. And as you can see, our multicam one, like we were telling you, is that's why we use 2 different colors so it's easier to see. It's the top one, so it overlaps our ridge line. And so when we stretch all this out, this makes it so it'll shed rain or whatever down off this way, so it won't come in through the top. And when we stretch all this out, we'll actually pull a little bit harder on the back on this one too. So that kind of also makes it roll just a little bit more over the top. And if it was really bad conditions, you could even pull on these guys across here, and you know, and you could actually pull it out a little more if you needed to. Once again, this is a way to make something out of two ponchos that's actually pretty nice. With just a little bit of rigging, you can do it up. Now on the long version, there's the center set of snaps are offset because of the way the layout is. So you can either just tie this off to clear this little distance here, or the little mini clips, the easy clips that we carry. You can just fold it over and just clip that down like that and hold your middle right there. So one of these for I don't know, $1.50 or whatever it is right there, that'll hold that. Or you can do it with a cord, either one. It's not a big deal. I've done it both ways. But anyway, so now we'll stake this thing out and show you how it all looks there. Alright, so now we've got this thing set up in an A-frame style, kind of a pup tent type deal, with Ben's poncho and my poncho, and we're about 6 feet this way on the ground as far as footprint, and of course we're 8 feet that way. So we got a 6 by 8 foot footprint here, which is pretty nice. So we just kind of rigged up out of these two ponchos. Now because the ponchos have tabs all around here, we've got one in the center at each end here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along each side. So we got plenty of tie outs if we needed to stake down some more, you know, depending on the weather or whatever. Now you see this hood sticking out here, and of course you don't want rain or stuff like that getting down in there. So what we do is the hood has a snap on the top, and then there's a chest snap right down here on the poncho. So what I usually do is go like this. We snap those two together, and then we take the hood drawstring and we pull that down right tight. And so what that does is puts the opening out here, so you don't really get any rain and stuff going down in from the hood here. So that's how we seal out the hood hole. Alright, now there's one other thing I'm going to show you that we can actually do with the hood here. We're going to turn the hood into a tie out. Alright, here's another cool thing you can do with this A-frame shelter. I mean, you know, you got walls like this normally. Well, we can take advantage of this hood right here. We can turn the hood into a tie-out point. This hood is actually sewn onto here. There's actually 4 rows of stitching holding it on there. So that hood is actually very strong. So I've loosened the opening to this just a little bit. I've got just a stone from the stream. And I'm just going to put it up here on the top of the hood. And then I just take a rope here. I've got a taut line. You could use whatever you want. I grew up with this knot, so I use it a lot. Alright, so and now once we've done that, I'll go ahead and tighten this hood back down again right there. So that way we're sealed off pretty well again. And now we've got a stick back here. So what we're going to do, we just pull out on that deal. And for right now, just a few half hitches right here, just to give you the idea. But see, now we've got nearly a vertical side right here in the middle. This gives us a lot more headroom in here, and we can do this on both sides of our shelter, and that way if you're sitting up in the middle of it, you got a lot more room for sitting instead of coming right to a peak like this. Alright, so now the coyote side here, as we mentioned, this is inside out, so this is the inside, so you can see the hood's in here. Well, the way we deal with that is we pull the hood to the outside here, but we can still draw it down right here. And what we do here, there's a couple things you can do. Like you can draw that right down tight like that. And then if we wanted to do like we did on the other side and put a rock right here, we can tie that out. Here I am inside, and as you can see, I got plenty of room in here. And see, normally if we hadn't pulled this out, our walls would come up like this, so the wall would be right here. But now I've gained another 10 or 12 inches of headroom in here on this side and that side by pulling it out. So this makes a nice shelter, so I could sleep here, Ben or whoever. So you have your two people sleeping in here, no problem. And again, it's not the perfect shelter. It's not like a, one-piece tarp or whatever, but it actually does a pretty darn good job of protecting you. You choose a good spot to put your shelter up, you're good to go. Anyway, this is Perry Peacock Wilderness Innovation, just showing you PSS linking, a way to put your two ponchos together and turn it into an A-frame shelter. There's also many other ways you can put it up, and we'll show you some of those in a few minutes.